Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. We're still working in the mini catalog from Stampin' Up! 2022, page 15. Last week we did the Flowering Tulips bundle. So we did a lot of different cards using that. I said this week we'd be doing the Windmill, which is right here. And so one is called Flowering Tulips and one is called Tulip Fields, which can be a little confusing. If we turn the page, though, you can see the difference. This one's just mostly flowers, and then this one is mostly the fields, so that kind of helps a little bit. I'm going to be using the dies mostly for this one. So last week I said I'd be doing the Windmill, and then I thought, gee, I really need to be doing a Valentine because we're almost into February. So we're going to combine them. So this one is an easel card. It's going to pop up like this. And so you're riding the bike through the tulip fields and love you so much. See, it's a Valentine. So we're going to combine the two. Now you don't necessarily need the stamp set to work with the dies. There are two stamps in here that do work with the dies. This one right here and the tree. And then this little guy right here, I thought, that's an odd looking cloud. I thought, well, it's really nice they gave us 3 clouds, but really this one is a little tree shrub guy right here. There's a little stamp that goes with that. So there's actually 3 stamps that the die will cut out, but they also give a really cute bicycle and 5 little fence pieces, a little tulip border, and like I said, the 2 clouds or 3 if you want to make that a cloud, or a little snowbank, and then of course the windmill. And then these 2 pieces here that will layer on top of each other with different colors to do that. All right, let's cut and score the easel card. Pretty easy. If you've been with me for a while, you've seen a lot of easel cards over the years. It's basically exactly an A2 size card or whatever size you want, and we're just going to score right down the middle. Now I did real red cardstock, but I'm going to do poppy on this one. It's just a little bit brighter. I don't know if you can see the difference here, but it's just a touch brighter. So we're going to start with our regular 8.5 by 11 paper, and we're going to cut it at right down the middle at 5.5, right here. Oh, and by the way, I keep getting emails about where I got this ruler to go on my paper trimmer. I love this paper trimmer that Stampin' Up! Has. It's my favorite so far. I love everything about it, except I felt like I needed a ruler a little bit up toward the edge. So I found this on Amazon. It's an adhesive ruler. It's by Wintape, I think Wintape. And you want it to go from right to left. And people use these on their workbenches. So I think it even says it's a workbench ruler. But you want the one that starts on the right and goes that way. So the numbers go this way. The first one I ordered, it went the wrong way. So that didn't work. And I did have to cut off right here. I think I cut off a 1/2 inch of it because my guard was getting caught on it. But it does the trick and I love it, and that made all the difference for me. Okay, so here we have our basic card, and then we're going to put it this way, and then we're going to score it at 4 1/4 like we would normally do. And score, and then we're going to bring it down to 2 1/8 right there and score it again, and that's your easel. So you basically have folded in half. You could do it with a bone folder too, but that's it. So I used my scallop rectangle and did a little piece in white, and then I cut my designer paper down from the tulips right here. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue around. And it's about 2 3/4 by 4, I think. So it's a nice little piece of that paper. This one's different, but they all work really well. So I'm going to start with the inside first. If you want to, you can just use a piece of white right inside if you've got a lot to say. And you don't have to do the flower paper on the top and the bottom. But when that easel card is folded up, you kind of think about what you want right here. So I took another piece of this tulip paper, a 2-inch piece, and put it right down here at the bottom. Now Now on this one, I covered it up, so you wouldn't even have to have the white. It just depends, you know, if you want to say something on the inside or not. But what you want to do is use this as your guide for this piece. And that's what's going to be your stopper for your easel. So it'll stop right there, and then it'll look like, in my mind, I was thinking the little bike was riding on the dirt road. So on this one, I thought I might try to do a little green strip here instead. And I might still do this here because I like it so much. Yeah, I'm still going to put this on this one. See that green? That might be kind of fun for a little grassy road in front of the tulips and the windmill. So if I try this out, you could do just a piece of solid green, just like that. Or you could do the designer paper, but you're going to want something a little sturdy underneath it. I kind of like that. So I'm going to take this little piece of designer paper and put it on top of the green just to give it a little stability. And then we're going to take one of those strip dimensionals and put that all the way down the edge right here. These come 9 inches long, and I typically will snip them in half. One of them is 5 inches and one of them is 4 inches, and I always have them. I love them. They're super sticky on both sides, and you can just go right down the middle with it. It's just perfect. Peel that off, and we're going to stick it right here, as long as it's straight. There. So it gives it that little lip, so that's going to stick nicely. Now, if it doesn't want to stay down, it's not trained yet. Like this one. I've opened and closed it so many times now that it's just going to stay that way. So we need to give it a little lesson in where to go. So take your bone folder or your thumbnail or something and give it a really good crease in each direction. And I kind of bend it around a little. And it's this one right here that you might have to reinforce. And there it goes. You just gotta show it what it needs to do. Now this guy is gonna go right here. So I just put it right in the middle, and you only want to glue the bottom of this. That's it. Just the glue on the bottom. I still center it on the card, so it looks nice, but remember the glue is only going to go on the bottom part, so it doesn't stick up there, and there we go. There's the start. Right. Now we need to put together the windmill. I tried a ton of different colors with this and kept playing around with what looked good with what, all sorts of different combinations of, should I do a fun windmill? Should I just do like a basic one? So in the end, I did soft suede on the top and crumb cake on the bottom. So this one, because it is so intricate, I had a little bit of a hard time getting this to cut all the way through the first time. So what I ended up doing is putting it on a piece of soft suede and putting another little piece of cardstock on top and running it through like a shim, and then it came out nice and clean. But whew, it didn't like it at first. The other thing you can do is you could put it like this in your machine and put the paper on top and run it through upside down. So it's going to cut up instead, and that will work really well too. But there's a lot of little intricate little lines in here. I'm not even going to bother to glue those down. I'm really just going to glue down the solid parts. That's really all that matters. Just like that. So we've got the soft suede and the crumb cake going together. And I thought about coloring it black on the inside here just to kind of balance the black bike, but it really doesn't matter. Once this is open, then the greeting balances the black, so it works out okay. Now the little propeller, I don't know what they call this. What do you call the blades of a windmill? Windmill blades? I don't know. We don't have them here very much, so I don't see them very often. Now in the die, they have this round area which is going to help it cut, and so the die isn't going to bend. But I'll tell you, these are very delicate. I wanted this to spin, and you can see, I mean, unless you reinforce it with maybe a couple different layers to spin it, it's just so delicate that it really wasn't going to work out. But I will say it does cut like a dream, especially this brushed metal that we have, this paper. I love this paper for cutting anything because it has like a coating on the top and everything just falls right out. It's wonderful. So this is what I mean by they're just a little bit delicate, so just be careful when you're trying to get all the little parts and pieces out. I know we have a little foam mat that comes with this, but I just use my fingers. I feel like I can control where it's going and get it just right. And look at this fun confetti you have. And if you have any that are stuck, I sometimes am a little bit lazy with these little dies, but I'll just take a piece of painter's tape and just pop out the extra pieces. It just kind of gets out those little stubborn ones, and then anything left I can pick out, but I do this first because it's a lot faster. And with the painter's tape, it doesn't hurt the paper. See, I got one left there that's being stubborn. I can pick that out. All right, there's a hole right here naturally so that you can put a brad. So you would think that this would spin great, but it really is just so delicate. It's better just to stick it through there and be done. Now you could just glue it and then put a little black dot on it, but we have the brads, so I'm going to use this little black one. And these are quite long, but they're also very soft, so you can kind of make them go. I just put them down like that way so that they don't show. You don't want to stick them through this because you would see it. All right, and then dimensionals. Put some of those down. Now this is where you're probably going to want to figure out where this is going to sit in relationship to this, right? So while it's in this position here, that's where I'm going to put this down while it's open. So it'll be right here because I kind of want it to sit right there on the grass. There it is. And now this little bicycle, I only attached it with these little black dimensionals that we have. When you order the black dimensionals, they come these little bitty ones and then also larger ones, the regular size ones. And these little guys are perfect for the bike. And if you put it right over the hubcap or whatever, the rim, I don't know, right in the center. I don't ride a bike. I don't know what that's called. But if you put them right there, and I know you're not going to be able to see this on camera, but they shimmer because these guys are a little shiny. And so right through the holes there, it's kind of sparkly. But that's just putting those two right there is all you need. And again, we want to make sure it's riding right there and doesn't get covered up there. So you could definitely add a little sentiment right here. You could put a couple flowers in the basket, but I'm just going to do a few of these butterflies, these little brass ones. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, wow, those are some really big butterflies in the catalog, but they had magnified the catalog. It's to show the detail of them. I'm like, no, they're real tiny and they're flat and they're wonderful and they work great in the mail. They're called brushed brass, but they are small and really flat, thin, slim, fantastic. I love them. But we can just do a couple of these right here. And then the sentiment, whatever you want to say, for me, I'm going to do a little Valentine, love you so much. You could even put a little heart in the basket. That would be kind of cute. Put a little guy right there. And I think I like the green on the bottom there. But I like the crumb cake too for the dirt road. You decide. I think I definitely like the poppy card though. So there it is. There's your windmill Valentine easel card. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.